Namaste. Thank you for joining me on the virtual mat. We're going to begin in a comfortable seated position, taking some deep breaths, allowing our body to find itself in the yoga space you've created today, allowing the mind to settle into this moment in time, deepening the inhales, lengthening out the exhales through the nose. Feel the body releasing down towards the earth, letting go of tension in the neck and the shoulders. And even though you're sitting up as straight as you can, releasing, relaxing through the hips and the thighs, feet and the ankles, giving yourself permission to kind of turn down for a minute physically, and then allow the thoughts, the head to follow, as if you're Xing out of all the tabs that you've had open for the day, or maybe minimizing. There's probably some you can minimize and probably some you can X out. And so just kind of mentally go through what you're sensing, what you're feeling, and either minimize or close out those tabs. Inhaling, imagining the little mouse icon going up to the corner, and exhaling, clicking on the minus, the X, and feeling that sense of relaxation as the window disappears. Deepening the inhales, exhaling long and slow through the nose if you can. And taking a few more rounds of breath until your proverbial desktop is clear. When you find it clear, take a big exhale out through the mouth. Begin to tuck the chin, lowering the gaze, dropping the head closer towards the heart, lengthening through the back of the neck. And pressing the shoulders down away from the ears. And keeping the shoulders lowered. Inhale, lift the gaze all the way up to the ceiling, dropping your head back as far as feels comfortable for you. And then inhale the shoulders up towards the ears. One more deep breath in. And as you exhale, relax the gaze, relax the shoulders, returning the neck to neutral. Inhale, begin to slowly sweep the arms up overhead. You can keep the eyes closed or softly open as your palms come together at the top. And then exhale back the way we came, opening the palms, lowering them down to the earth, either side. Walk the fingertips away from you, or maybe they just dance a little bit next to your hips. Inhale, lift the sternum, keeping the back straight. Exhale, tuck the chin. Flip the palms up. Inhale, reach the arms up. We'll take a little side body stretch here. Exhale the right hand down to the mat. Lengthen through the left side body, pressing that left down. Left shoulder up, pulling that left shoulder back as well, so the heart stays open. Deep breath in and exhale. One more inhale here. Exhale, look towards your right hand and lower that left hand next to the right for a gentle little twist. You can walk your hands back in towards your body if you need to support yourself or not twist so deeply. Just a little gentle twist to the right. Exhale it out. On an inhale, bring that left arm up to sweep up and open, planting the left fingertips down next to you. Other side, inhale, bring the right arm up. Side body stretch to the other side, pressing the right hip down, lifting up and opening through that right shoulder. Maybe the gaze comes up towards your hands. Full inhale, deep exhale out. One more round of breath here. Inhale one more time. Use the exhale to lower your gaze towards your left hand. Bring that right hand down to meet it for a little twist. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale. Allow yourself to gently twist. Your inhale draws that right arm back up, like a rainbow overhead, coming back to sitting upright. You sat cross-legged. Gently switch the crossing of the legs. We'll bring the arms up overhead again, forward fold. Lengthen first, and then hinging at the hips, bring the heart forward. Lower the gaze and the fingertips towards the earth. Then drop the chin, drop the head. Full breath out. Inhale, look up halfway, kind of like a baby cobra sensation, drawing the shoulder blades back. Exhale, release the gaze towards the floor. And keep exhaling into a little cat-like back. And then use that inhale to roll yourself up to sit. Coming back through center, extend the right leg long. Sole of the left foot into the right thigh. Reach the arms up overhead. We're just going to tilt towards the right, not go all the way down. So keep a little integrity in the spine and the lifting through the chest. Using a little bit of core strength here. Inhale to center. Exhale, lower the left hand down, reach the right arm up. Little side body stretch. Exhale to center. Bring the hands in front of you. Roll the shoulders down the back. Inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, walk the fingertips just a few inches forward. Might not need to go too far at all. Inhaling into the inside of that right leg. Can bend the knee a little bit if you need. We'll take 3 rounds of here. Inviting the inner leg to open. Turning the awareness back to that blank desktop if you found some tabs popping back up open. When you're ready, inhale the fingertips back to center as you sit back upright. And spin into that right knee and draw the right heel in towards your glutes, finding our favorite deer pose. We're just going to sit upright here. We're not going to fold forward yet. We'll come back to that if you'd like. Find some length in the spine. And again, with our deep exhales and inhales, just inviting the lower body to relax and release, to find itself in this new shape. Noticing if you're holding tension in other areas of the body. Softly letting go on the breath out. And on your next inhale, just lean to the left, drawing that right leg to meet the sole of the left foot, sole of the right foot and the left foot to meet in the center for our bound angle pose. And we'll take a few seated cat and cows here if you'd like. Inhaling, lifting the chest, maybe arching the back, dropping the head back. And exhaling, curling in towards yourself, pressing the back of the heart space behind you. Using the inhale to lift and open. Continuing at your own pace. Trying to match the rhythm of the breath, the rhythm of the movements. Good breathing, coming back to center when you're ready. Extending that left leg long, drawing the right sole of the foot into that left thigh. Inhaling, sweeping the arms up, keeping the shoulders relaxed. And then just tilting towards the left, engaging that core, bending into the knee if you need. Heart stays open, right shoulder stays pulled back. Relying on that center of your being to hold you up, literally and figuratively. And then inhale back to center. Release the right arm down. Reach up with the left side body stretch. Exhale. Sitting back up straight, bringing the fingertips in front of you. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale. Maybe beginning to fold forward just a little bit. Finding the right spot. Breathe into the left leg. And taking at least 3 rounds of full breaths in, slow breaths out. Softening the gaze and the jaw. Tuning into that rhythmic breath. After your next exhale, lift the gaze, walk the fingertips back as you sit upright, bending into that left knee for deer pose. And again, just sitting upright here this time, adjusting as you need, lengthening through the spine on the inhale, and exhaling, just letting your body feel its way into the shape, noticing any differences on the side, if anything feels pinched, if anything feels good. Just kind of taking mental note of that. And breathing into those sensations. And take one more round of breath. Lean to the right into Baddha Konasana, or bound angle pose again. Coming back to those seated cat and cows, or if you prefer, you can fold forward or just find stillness or any other variation thing that your body feels like it needs in this shape. Take about 3 more rounds of breath. When you find yourself back to center, gently close the knees together like a book. Prop your hands behind you, maybe a few gentle windshield wipers. We're going to make our way to tabletop, but take your time if you need a few little swishes left and right. Meeting in tabletop as you're ready. And widening the knees to the edges of the mat, big toes to touch, taking a wide-legged child's pose. Relaxing into the hips, allowing the arms to reach overhead as the forehead meets the mat. As you breathe in, feel the upper back expand. The left and right rib cage sides expand. As you exhale, melting down towards the earth, feel the tailbone also also grow heavy. Spend a few rounds of breath here, surrendering down, allowing the earth to support you. Your next inhale, fill up as much air as you possibly can. Biggest breath in all day. Hold it at the top for about 3 seconds. And then, like you're exhaling through a straw, purse the lips and slowly exhale out through that breath. Inhale normally. And exhale. Lift the gaze up towards your fingertips and come onto your forearms, walking the knees back together. Tuck the toes, let the head hang heavy. I'm going to take a gentle press up into dolphin pose. You're also welcome to sit back into child's or take downward dog if you prefer. Firming the fingertips onto the mat, suction cupping the palms. Engage the belly and lift the knees as you slowly press the hips upward towards your dolphin or downward dog, or relax them back for child's pose. Breathing deeply. Let the head hang heavy. Find some relaxation in the neck if that's not too crazy of an offer. And on your next exhale, lower the knees. Untuck the toes. Relax in child's pose for 3 rounds of breath. Maybe you bring your hands beside you next to your legs. And let the shoulders melt down towards the earth over your knees. As you're ready, bring your palms next to your face to press yourself up. Bring that right foot between the hands, coming to a low lunge. Firming through the low body. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, plant the left hand down to the inside of the foot, reaching the right arm up, gentle twist in towards your right leg. Energetically pull that right leg back, maybe getting into that glute, the outer part of the right leg. Deep breaths here. If the arm gets tired, you can take a bind, maybe bringing the outside of the right hand to your left hip. And on our next exhale, we're going to release that right hand back down to frame the right foot. Walk the fingertips back as you lengthen through that left leg, coming to reverse lunge or half splits. You can walk that right heel forward if you'd like to get a little bit deeper. Keep the hips squared towards the top of the mat though, so they're in the hips points are in the same plane. Keep the heart lifted, 3 breaths here. Can also make this a dynamic movement if you'd like to sweep up into that low lunge and exhale back to your reverse lunge, or just spend a few breaths in each. Even out your breaths and your movements. We'll meet back in that low lunge with the arms lifted overhead. Tucking the back toe, press down to lift yourself up. Reach forward with the arms, shifting the weight to that right foot. Step to the top of the mat, forward fold. Bending into the knees to release the low back and let the head hang heavy. On your inhale, come up halfway, straight spine, looking down at the floor. One more breath in. Use your exhale to release back down, lowering your knees to the mat. Forearms down. We'll take one more dolphin or child's pose or downward dog or anything else your little heart desires. And take your time. One movement with one breath. I'll cue for dolphin. And tucking the toes under, again, spreading the fingertips wide, drawing the belly button towards the low back to engage the core, lifting the knees, sending the hips up and back. Relax the neck, looking back between your knees or your feet. Deep breaths in, slow breaths out. On your next exhale, lowering down, untucking the toes, maybe taking a little rest in child's pose with the arms at your side again. And then bringing the hands next to your face, lifting up, and bringing that left foot between the hands for a low lunge. Hugging everything in and up as you lift the arms up overhead, reaching up. Exhale, cactus arms, lowering the elbows, broadening through the collarbones. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhaling, lowering that right hand to the inside of the foot. Left arm stays lifted. Gently twisting in towards the left leg. And pulling that left hip back, maybe getting into tightness in the left glutes. Maybe taking the bind, bringing the back of the left hand behind you to the right hip. Totally optional. Any other arm variation is fine. Breathe. Minimize any windows that have popped up. Come back to the shape. And release that left hand down to the mat. Shift the hips back, finding our reverse lunge, or feel free to take it a little further to half splits if that's something you're working on. Again, left hip is pulling back, right hip is pulling forward. Somewhat straight through the spine, open through the heart. We took the dynamic flow into low lunge and exhaling back to reverse lunge. Do that on this side as well if you can. And just listen to that breath. And we'll meet back in a low lunge. Your next round. Arms up overhead. Tuck the back toe. Press down to inhale, lifting up to high lunge. And then bring the heart forward, reaching forward with your hands. Step forward to the top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend deeply into the knees, tuck the tailbone, and roll yourself slowly up to stand. Letting the shoulders melt down the back, the palms open. Feeling the feet firmly on the ground. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, bring the hands down to the mat, step back to plank or to your knees. We'll lower through cobra or up dog on the breath in. Take 3 rounds of breath in your cobra or up dog. And then use that 4th inhale to lift up and back to child's pose. Walk the fingertips over to one side here. Breathing into that side body. Coming back to center, to the other side. Back to center. Coming up to tabletop. Walking ourselves to maybe a little bit forward, more forward towards the top of the mat so you can extend that right leg. Just the toes down. And as we're exhale, we're going to shift the weight back to breathe into the calf muscle. And inhale forward, maybe lifting that leg up if you'd like. Exhaling, lowering the toes, shifting back, breathing into the calf. Inhaling, shifting forward, maybe lifting that leg up. Just a few of those. One more round. And actually, we're going to end with the leg lifted and open it towards the right. Walking those right toes so they're directly next to you on the right side there. And then shift the hips back here, finding a little bit of openness in the inner leg. Exhaling, shifting back. Inhaling forward. And if moving with the breath is a little too much or not working for you, just find one spot that maybe needs a little bit of extra love and breathe into it in that spot. Take 2 or 3 more rounds of breath. And then just bring that right leg behind you all the way until it crosses the left leg. Exhale, kind of look over your left shoulder, getting into the outer right hip there. Inhale back to center, bringing that right foot back. Bending into the knee, drawing that right heel towards the glute. You can stay here or plant that left hand down if you're up for a little balance, maybe finding your hand come to your foot. Might work better actually, your right hand down, reaching back with your left. There we go. Maybe finding a little quad stretch here. Gently, slowly releasing on the exhale, bringing that right knee down to the mat. Maybe tapping out the feet, walking the knees wide, a wide child's pose, to curling up, just any like little intuitive movements to roll out that series. And when you're ready, coming back to center for the other side. Extending the left leg, long toes down. Exhaling, shifting the weight back so you feel it in their calf. Inhaling forward and lifting that left leg. Exhaling, lowering the toes, shifting back, stretching into that calf. Inhaling, shifting forward, lifting that left leg. Just a little bit, not too much opening in the hip. Be a few more rounds here. Back to the sound of the breath. When you feel good there, walk, extend that left leg long, and walk it over the left side of the mat so it's horizontal, I think, to your right knee. Yeah. Planting that left foot down if you can. You can keep the foot lifted too. It might be a little bit different sensation. And again, finding a little bit of movement with the breath, or finding that one sticky spot and breathing in there. Few more rounds here. And drawing that left leg back up, bending into that left knee, pulling or pressing that left heel in towards your glute. Maybe you plant into that left hand, reach back with the right. Finding a quad stretch. It's okay if you can't reach. Couple breaths here. Good. Gently release on your next exhale and cross that left leg behind the right. We'll get the other outer hip here. So left leg crosses behind your right, and then just look over your right shoulder, pressing into that outer right hip. Maybe getting into the side body. Inhaling back to center. Bringing both knees back together. Maybe a cat and cow would feel good, or whatever else you need to roll that out. And then we're gonna sit back, find fire log pose. Of course, any other variations to this are fine as well. If you prefer a pigeon or coming back to deer pose, bringing one leg underneath the other, crossing the ankle over the knee. Sitting up as even and straight as you can. And taking just a few rounds of breath to let your body settle into the posture and make any adjustments you need. You want to be right at your edge, but not falling over. And as you exhale, maybe you move an inch forward. As your body settles into the shape, your mind settles into the breath. Allowing the fascia and other subtle body parts to do their work. Keep finding length in the spine as you melt the heart forward. We'll be here for half a minute or so. So take your time. Ease up if you need. Go deeper if you'd like. Honor the body before the ego. Embrace any sensations, thoughts, memories, concerns, and let them go with the exhales. Three more rounds of breath here. Slowly begin to walk your hands back, sitting upright. And if you took fire log, let's gently move to pigeon or deer pose, or pigeon if you want to go there. I'm going to stick to deer pose if I can get this hip down this way. So just lowering that left leg down. And here's your chance now to fold forward. If you'd like, remembering to keep the heart open. So spreading the wings wide as you fold forward, if you're taking that. If you make it all the way down to your forearms, relax the head and the neck. Maybe play around with finding a little twist. So lifting the right shoulder, gazing up over that right shoulder, maybe finding a little sensation there. Lifting up off that left arm, gazing over the left shoulder, or maybe you stay still. Find your spot and enjoy 5 rounds of breath. After your final exhale, press into the hands to lift yourself up, slowly walking them back to sit upright. We're going to extend both legs long out in front of us for a forward fold. Maybe you want to take a wide-legged forward fold. Maybe you want the legs together, up to you. Keeping a little bend in the knees, pressing the heels out and the toes back towards your face. Reach the arms up overhead. Leading with the heart, fold over the legs, reaching as far as you can with no expectation, no judgment of where the fingertips land. Letting the head relax. The gaze lowers towards your knees or thighs. Breathe. Spinning the inner thighs down, pulling the belly forward, sending the breath to the back of the legs. On your next inhale, just lift the gaze towards your toes. Bring the fingertips next to your hips, lengthen through the spine and sit up with a straight back. Now we'll come back to our fire log. So whatever the opposite way was. So that leg that we just did deer pose on, that's going to be on the bottom, I believe. Setting yourself up for fire log or whatever variation you took instead. Relaxing the shoulders, lengthening the spine. Giving your body a moment to adjust. And then maybe finding a little bit of breath, deepening into that outer hip. As you maybe crawl forward. Again, allowing the ego to take a back seat here. Listening to the sense of the body call for. Got several more rounds of breath here, so let yourself settle in. Where can you release a little more? Final couple rounds of breath. Gently lifting the gaze and going just as slowly back upright. Slowly making our way to deer pose or to pigeon if you prefer, taking that top leg down next to you. Finding about 90 degrees from the hip to the knee to the ankle. Bending a breath to align. And then maybe walking the fingertips wide and forward. You bring your heart over that front leg, relaxing the gaze. If you did so on the other side, taking that gentle twist, lifting one arm, gazing over the shoulder, and then the other. Or mirroring any shapes that you took on the other side. Be here for about 5 more rounds of breath. After your final exhale, ever so gently, bring yourself back up using your hands. Slow movements. Bringing both legs out in front of you for another forward fold. Again, either wide-legged or legs together, your choice. Sitting up straight, bringing the arms up overhead. Exhaling. Still keeping the spine straight as the fingertips land. Find the breath. One final round of breath here. And this time we're going to curl the spine and walk the fingertips inward or slowly roll up from our legs together, forward fold. Bending into the knees, going to lower on down to our backs. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Finding supine figure 4. You have the option here to rock gently left and right, or lift the legs off the mat and drawing them in towards your chest. Maybe rocking there. Eventually, lowering everything to the left and extending the right arm long, finding a twist. The legs to the left, gaze to the right. Full cleansing exhale. Bringing the gaze back to the ceiling, the legs back up to center. Extend the right leg long. And bending back into that knee. Both feet are on the mats. We'll go to the other side. Left ankle crosses over right knee. And staying here, gently rocking or drawing the legs together, threading the arms through to hold on to the back of that right hamstring. Maybe enjoying the rocking from there. And as you're ready, slowly dropping the legs to the right, lengthening the left arm out, and letting the gaze follow over the left fingertips, enjoying a twist. Take a cleansing breath out. Come back to center, slowly on the inhale. Lengthen the left leg, flattening the foot towards the ceiling, and planting that foot back down. Walk the feet to the edges of the mat and allow the knees to gently fall in towards each other, maybe finding a little low back release here. You can bring some movement if you'd like, windshield wipers. We'll take another one of those biggest, deepest breaths you can, filling all the way up and holding at the top for a moment before finding that straw, like pursed lips exhaling through slowly. Inhale the knees back up. Extend the legs long. Take fish pose. Bringing the hands underneath the hips. Wiggling the elbows underneath you as you lift your hearts, coming up to the crown of the head. Really light in the head here, maybe even keeping a millimeter or so of space between the crown of the head and the mat. Opening through the chest and the throat. Full expansive inhale and exhaling out fully. Taking one more of those. Gently releasing on the exhale, lowering the upper back to the mat. Gently wiggling the arms out from underneath you. Taking a stretch, point the toes, reach the arms up overhead. Exhaling, knees to chest. Hugging in towards yourself. Taking any final movements, shapes, breaths, vocalizations, whatever you need to make this practice feel complete today. Eventually, making your way to Shavasana. Lengthening the back body onto the mat. Letting go of the breath awareness as the belly softens. Allowing the skin to melt down, the bones to become heavy. The wave of stillness and peace washes over you from the crown of your head to the toes. Allow yourself a few minutes of rest and restoration. I'll keep mind of the time. Slowly drawing a deep breath in. Exhale to relax a little more. And then as you're ready, slowly bringing some small movements to the body. An inhale of awareness to your presence in your space. Slowly awakening the body, curling into yourself on one side, spending a breath here. And gently pressing yourself up to sit, keeping the eyes closed or gaze softly downward in front of you. Bring the palms together. Anjali Mudra, prayer at the center of the heart. And close out with chant of peace for you, for those around us, and for collective creation. You're welcome to join in or just receive. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Exhale to release. Ah, thank you for joining me.